Quantum manifestation begins with the understanding that your attention is not passive, it's creative. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows that particles behave differently when observed. Translated into life, this means that the way you look at your reality doesn't just reflect it, it influences it. If fear interrupts your shift, it's often because your attention has been hijacked by what you don't want instead of what you do. Imagine this. Two people are facing the same challenge. One constantly worries, scanning for what might go wrong. Their observation fuels the reality of fear. The other person observes calmly, noticing what is working, visualizing a better outcome, and emotionally connecting to it. Even if they start in the same place, their lives begin to diverge because observation directs energy. In practice, this means your thoughts are like a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you shine it, reality becomes more vivid there. Focus creates amplification. When you emotionally witness your future with curiosity and trust rather than desperation, you start collapsing possibilities into a path that feels inevitable. Your thoughts are not idle. They're directional signals, continuously broadcasting into the field. If fear interrupts, the key isn't to fight it, but to redirect the beam of your attention. Acknowledge the fear, like background noise, and then consciously choose to observe something that aligns with your desired timeline. This is why practices like visualization and gratitude work. They train your observation to become creative instead of reactive. In the quantum world, you're never stuck. You're simply tuning to whatever you're looking at the most. Shift your gaze, and your reality will follow. This is the first step to staying aligned even in moments of doubt. While conscious focus is powerful, your subconscious is the true architect of your reality. It's the background program that runs 95% of your daily thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. If your conscious mind wants abundance, but your subconscious believes you're unworthy or unsafe with it, the field responds to the subconscious broadcast. This is why alignment is more than thinking positive thoughts. It's about transforming the silent beliefs beneath them. Consider someone who repeats affirmations like, "I am confident," but inside, they still carry years of self-doubt. Their outer reality keeps reflecting hesitation because the subconscious signal is stronger. Fear interrupts manifestation most often when it resonates with those old subconscious programs. It triggers familiar loops, pulling your energy back to the timeline where fear feels normal. To stay aligned, you must make your desired reality feel safe to your subconscious. Inner safety equals outer permission. You do this through emotional rehearsal, repetition, and small evidence-building actions. Visualization is not just imagination, it's subconscious training. When you vividly feel the emotions of already having what you desire, your subconscious starts to accept it as familiar. Embodiment builds resonance. When you start living as if your shift is real, walking, speaking, and making small daily choices from that identity, your subconscious integrates it faster. Over time, the fearful interruptions lose their power because the new baseline becomes more familiar than the old one. In quantum terms, your subconscious alignment is like tuning the foundation of your radio. When it's steady, brief bursts of static or fear won't knock you off the station. With every aligned thought and feeling, you reinforce the frequency that pulls your timeline into form. One of the most common ways fear interrupts your quantum flow is by triggering the urge to control everything: how, when, and through whom your manifestation will arrive. Control is a form of resistance because it signals distrust in the field. When you try to micromanage every outcome, you anchor yourself to the vibration of fear and separation. Imagine planting a seed. If you keep digging it up to check if it's sprouting, you slow its growth. Manifestation works the same way. The moment you set your intention and align with the feeling of it already being done, the field begins rearranging. Constant checking, forcing, or worrying is like yanking the seed from the soil. It interrupts the natural unfolding. The paradox of quantum manifestation is that letting go gives you more influence than gripping tightly ever could. Surrender doesn't mean giving up your desire. It means releasing the anxious energy that says, "It isn't here yet, so I must make it happen." When you let go, you open a vacuum for reality to fill. One powerful example comes from people who finally stop obsessing about a goal, whether it's love, money, or opportunity, and it arrives shortly after. That's not magic, it's alignment. Fear weakens your signal because it tries to force timing. Letting go allows the timeline to align in ways your conscious mind couldn't predict. Surrender is alignment. The next time fear interrupts, try a simple shift. Acknowledge it, take a deep breath, and remind yourself this is already unfolding without my struggle. Control contracts. Trust expands. By releasing the need to dictate every detail, you step into a state of flow where manifestation accelerates naturally.
In quantum manifestation, your emotional state is more powerful than your effort. People often think that if they just work harder, visualize longer, or repeat more affirmations, they can force a shift. But forcing comes from lack. Feeling, on the other hand, creates resonance. Your frequency is determined by how you feel, not how much you push. Imagine two people applying for the same opportunity. One is panicked and desperate, sending out emails and over-explaining their value. The other feels confident and aligned, radiating calm certainty. Even before either speaks, the energy difference is palpable. The universe, like everyone else, responds to that vibrational signal. You emotionally inhabit your reality before it arrives. That means the real work is cultivating the feeling of already having what you desire. For example, if fear interrupts your manifestation, notice the emotional state it drags you into, tightness, doubt, or impatience. Then consciously shift into the feeling that represents your desired outcome: ease, excitement, gratitude, or love. Emotion collapses probability into presence. When your emotions align with your vision, you accelerate its unfolding in the field. Even a short burst of deeply felt gratitude or joy is more powerful than hours of mechanical effort. Fear might still visit, but if your emotional baseline remains elevated, it becomes just background noise rather than a magnet. A practical approach: instead of asking, "What should I do?" ask, "How do I want to feel right now?" Then breathe into that state. Dance, visualize, meditate, or step outside. Whatever brings you into embodied emotion. When you feel your future now, the field receives a clear signal. You don't manifest by force, you manifest by frequency.
Quantum manifestation becomes truly powerful when you realize that all versions of you already exist. There is a version of you who is aligned, abundant, fearless, and living the reality you desire. Shifting timelines is less about getting there and more about becoming that version of you now. Think about an actor preparing for a role. They don't just memorize lines, they embody the character, the posture, the emotions, the decisions. Similarly, to manifest, you must begin to think, feel, and act from the identity that already lives in your desired timeline. If fear interrupts, it's usually because your current self feels separate from your future self. Bridging that gap through embodiment stabilizes your shift. Identity is the anchor. If your identity is someone trying to manifest, you remain in a state of trying. But when you start moving as the person who already has it, everything changes. This doesn't mean pretending or faking. It means energetically tuning into that version of you until it feels natural. Be the frequency that makes the timeline real. Small choices reinforce this. If the future you starts their day calmly, makes decisions with confidence, and prioritizes joy, Begin doing that now in small, authentic ways. These actions send a signal to your subconscious and to the quantum field. This is who I am. Step into the identity now. The more often you embody that future version, the less power fear holds. Even if it shows up, your body and mind are already rehearsing the timeline where you are stable, confident, and aligned. Over time, the gap between now and your desired reality disappears because you've become it. One of the most transformative aspects of quantum manifestation is learning the art of magnetic detachment. This is the state where you still hold the vision of your desire, but you release the emotional grip on needing it to happen a certain way or at a certain time. Attachment sends a signal of lack. Detachment radiates completion. Think of the feeling after you've already placed an online order. You don't obsessively refresh the tracking page every 5 seconds because you trust it's on its way. That is magnetic detachment. In contrast, when fear interrupts your flow and you start thinking, "Why isn't it here yet?" you pull yourself into misalignment. The energy of impatience is the energy of separation. Internal conviction is enough. When you believe with full certainty that your shift is already unfolding, you can relax. You stop chasing, checking, and doubting because your energy broadcasts, "It's done." The quantum field responds to that clarity far faster than to anxious effort. Peace attracts. When you embody a calm, fulfilled energy, opportunities, synchronicities, and outcomes are drawn to you naturally. For example, many people report that manifestations finally arrive after they, quote, "gave up trying," because that surrender allowed the magnetic energy to flow unobstructed. The next time fear tries to shake your alignment, step back and breathe. Remind yourself, my desire is already in motion. Smile, shift your focus to something joyful, and let the field do the work. Magnetic detachment doesn't mean not caring, it means caring without clutching. This is the energetic sweet spot where manifestation speeds up because your frequency becomes clear, stable, and irresistible.
At this stage of the quantum journey, you begin to see that your reality is a mirror of your energy. This is not about blame, it's about empowerment. When fear interrupts your manifestation, it often feels like something outside of you is controlling the outcome. But the truth is, the universe is simply reflecting the vibration you're broadcasting. Your external life mirrors your internal state. If you wake up stressed, doubtful, and fearful, that signal ripples outward, and reality responds with matching experiences. This is why two people can walk into the same situation and have different outcomes. One vibrates trust and opportunity, the other vibrates doubt and resistance. You're not broken, you're broadcasting. That means you can change the station at any time. Instead of spiraling into fear or blaming circumstances, pause and check your energetic output. What story am I telling internally? What state am I radiating? That awareness alone begins to shift the signal. You are the signal. Taking energetic responsibility means reclaiming your creative power. If fear arises, it's a reminder that you have temporarily tuned to a lower frequency. No judgment, just an opportunity to retune. Meditation, visualization, gratitude, and embodied action are your dials. Each small shift in energy recalibrates the field around you. A practical example. Imagine you're manifesting a new opportunity, but you feel rejected after one door closes. Instead of sinking into fear, you say, "If this timeline didn't lock in, a better one is aligning." That energetic choice pulls you out of victimhood and into alignment. When you live as the signal, life becomes feedback, not punishment. Fear loses its grip because you understand you are the source and reality is your echo.
One of the most liberating truths in quantum manifestation is that time is flexible. Fear often sneaks in because you think things are taking too long. But in the quantum field, linear time is just a perception. Timelines exist simultaneously, and the version of you living your desired reality already exists. The question isn't if, it's how quickly you align to it. Time bends to alignment. The clearer and more stable your frequency, the faster reality responds. Imagine two people manifesting the same thing. One constantly worries, checks for signs, and feels impatient, while the other fully embodies the feeling of already having it. Who collapses the timeline faster? Always the one who aligns first, not the one who pushes harder. Live from the end. This doesn't mean faking it. It means emotionally stepping into the reality you want now. For example, if you're manifesting love, visualize yourself already in that relationship and let the feelings of joy and safety fill your body. That emotional embodiment sends a powerful signal that shortcuts the waiting. The future is selected, not earned. You're not climbing a ladder to your manifestation. You're tuning to the frequency where it already exists. The faster you release doubt and fully feel the already done energy, the quicker time collapses around your intention. Here's a practical shift. When fear arises and whispers, "It's not here yet," respond with, "It's here energetically, and physical reality is catching up." This mindset transforms waiting into receiving. Collapsing time isn't magic, it's resonance. And when you master this, fear loses its urgency because you realize the timeline you want is already alive in the now.
The quantum field is like an invisible network of infinite possibilities, always alive and responding to your energy. Tuning into it is not about chasing signs or working harder. It's about entering a state where your energy and the field are in harmony. Fear interrupts your shift because it knocks you out of this resonance, like static on a radio station. Presence is the portal. The field responds most clearly when your attention is rooted in the now. Worrying about the future or replaying the past scatters your signal, but even a few minutes of deep presence can instantly realign it. Meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing to notice your surroundings can instantly tune you back into the field. Elevated emotions are commands. Gratitude, joy, love, and calm trust carry a high-frequency signal that the field reads as readiness. When fear interrupts, the solution isn't to suppress it, but to shift the emotional broadcast. A short practice like imagining golden light filling your heart or visualizing your desired reality already complete can reset your vibration in seconds. Tuning in is the process. You don't have to force outcomes or constantly check for evidence. Instead, you focus on creating coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and your energy. When that alignment stabilizes, the field organizes around you. A practical example, imagine sitting quietly, visualizing your future self already living your desire. As you breathe and feel that state, subtle ideas, nudges, or synchronicities often follow. That's the field responding to your frequency. Fear loses power the moment you return to presence and emotional coherence. By tuning into the field consistently, you transform manifestation from a struggle into a natural flow, and fear becomes just background static you no longer follow.
The ultimate key to maintaining alignment, even when fear tries to interrupt your shift, is living fully in the quantum now. All versions of your reality exist simultaneously, and the only point of access is this present moment. When you're fully here, not lost in the past or anxious about the future, you step into the only place where creation actually happens. The present is the point of power. Fear thrives in the what-ifs of the future, or the what went wrong of the past. But when you anchor into the now, you neutralize that fear because it has nowhere to live. Every conscious breath, every moment of awareness is a portal to your highest timeline. Generate conditions through your state. Instead of waiting for reality to change to feel peace, choose to radiate peace now. Instead of hoping for joy, practice joy in the present. This flips the script. Your state creates your circumstances, rather than your circumstances creating your state. Reality bends around the energy you broadcast in this exact moment. Be here, and everything becomes possible. Living in the quantum now doesn't mean ignoring goals. It means embodying the energy of already having them right here and right now. If fear arises, gently return to presence and remind yourself, this moment is my creative power. A practical example, take a few slow breaths, place a hand on your heart, and visualize golden light filling your body. In that state, fear dissolves and alignment returns. This simple presence practice keeps your energy coherent, your mind clear, and your manifestation active. When you master the quantum now, fear becomes temporary background noise, and your reality shifts effortlessly to match the version of you that is fully awake, aligned, and creating.
If this message resonated with you, if it helped you understand how to stay aligned, even when fear tries to pull you off your path, take a moment to like this video. It really helps spread this energy to more people who are ready to shift their reality. And if you want to dive deeper into quantum manifestation, alignment, and creating your highest timeline, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Each day we explore new tools and insights to help you live consciously and magnetically. Remember, you are not just observing life, you are shaping it. Stay aligned, stay present, and trust your shift. It has already begun.